We have been talking about multiples and factors. Here's a review of some of the problems we did from the book. One problem we looked at talked about Ferris wheels, asking when are the two Ferris wheels on the ground together. The first Ferris wheel goes around one time in 10 seconds. So every 10 seconds it makes a revolution, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 seconds. The larger Ferris wheel makes one revolution or one turn in 15 seconds. So every 15 seconds, so 15, 30 seconds, 45, 60. The question is, when are they on the ground together? And if we look at the least common multiple, in this case 30, we can see that after the small one goes around 3 times and the large one goes around twice, they're both on the ground together. You can also see that that happens again at 60 seconds. We also looked at a problem with cicadas, where cicadas come out of the ground every 8 years, for example, and 12 years. The 8-year cicadas come out 8, 16, 24, 32, and so on. And the 12-year cicadas come out 12, 24, and 36. Again, we look for the greatest or the least common multiple and see that 24 is the first time the cicadas are out together. We also talked about factors. We took 20 blue strips, 12 starburst, and 8 Jolly Ranchers and asked ourselves, how could we divide these quantities evenly or share them evenly? So we put the food in bags and said, well, one bag would be 20 blue, 12 starburst, and 8 Jolly Ranchers. That's what we're given. If we made 2 bags, there would be half as many blue, so 10, half as many starburst, 6, and half as many Jolly Ranchers, 4. We could not make 3 bags because 3 does not go into 20. 20 is not divisible by 3. There would be a remainder. You can't share 20 blue strips equally. And finally, 4. We could make 4 bags with 5 blue, 3 starburst, and 2 Jolly Rancher. These are called the common factors of 20, 12, and 8. The 4 is the greatest common factor. So that has to do with factors. And finally, we learned from Jerry about something called the step-ladder method, which is just an easy way to find your least common multiple and greatest common factor. If I'm given the two numbers, 36 and 48, I ask myself, what number could I divide out? So I take out 6. 36 divided by 6 is 6. 48 divided by 6 is 8. Then I see that those are both even numbers, so I know I can divide out another common factor, in this case 2. So I take 2 out of 6 and get 3, and I take 2 out of 8 and I get 4. So to find the least common multiple, we're going to multiply 6 times 2 times 3 times 4. And if you remember, it kind of looks like an L. So here's our L. So 6 times 2 times 3 times 4 is 144. That's our least common multiple. And then to find the greatest common factor, we take out everything we factored out. In this case, 6 and 2. And 6 times 2 is 12. That's our greatest common factor. Those are some of the highlights of what we talked about with multiples and factors.